Fantasy Football Almost Daily is brought to you by Fanball. The Week 6 Fanball winners contests are now up on the Fanball mobile app. That includes the Thursday night Eagles-Giants matchup. That's only $1 to play. Who's going to have more fantasy points? Is it going to be Hurts or Dart? I'm going to preview that game in just a minute, and I'll tell you who. Which of the running backs is going to have the best night? Is it Saquon? Maybe Scatterbo? Scattaboo. How about the Eagles receivers? A.J. Brown, who's currently 38% roster, Devonta Smith at 31%, or Dallas Goedert at 31%. Oh, I'm going to go through that real quick. Or the Giants receivers, Slayton, he's out. Looks like we're down to Wan'Dale Robinson, who's 69% rostered right now, Jalen Hyatt or Theo Johnson. Just pick the winners in those 4 groups of 4, and you split the pot with your fellow winners. There's also a Game Blazers free roll in the Fanball Winners app this week. Free to play, some money at stake, and $1 contests all over the place, and a $5 contest this week, including the London game between the Broncos and the Jets, some early and late pick threes, Sunday night, Monday night, doubleheader, all that good stuff. Come pick the winners with us. If you join Fanball now and use the promo code ALMOST, you get $20 deposit match for first-time depositors. Today's show also brought to you by Game Blazers. And they just announced their single biggest weekly prize pool ever. It's coming in week 9. It's not this week. It's coming in week 9. $75,000 will be given away during week 9's mid-season madness, which means you have a few weeks to stock up your inventory, stack those lineups, getting going. And Game Blazers is helping your cause with Fortify packs on sale this week only, with each pack of 3 untradeable items, just $5 each. Use promo code FFAD, as in Fantasy Football Almost Daily, when you make your first deposit for a match of up to $100. You can build your ultimate fantasy team with Game Blazers. As I mentioned, I'm going to preview the Thursday night contest between the Eagles and the Giants. But before that, it's Less Than Jake time.
From the Sports Hub Games Network, this is Fantasy Football Almost Daily with your host, Matt Harrison.
Hey friends, Matt Harrison here again. You can find me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Explosive Output. Today, again, it's the short episode. It's the Thursday night preview Fantasy Football Weekly style, and you can find me, Thor Nystrom, Paul Charchian, and a rare appearance from Colin McCockney this week on this Friday's Fantasy Football Weekly show. That'll be up late Friday. If you listen to it on KFAN here in Minneapolis, you'll hear it about Saturday morning sometime. I don't know if it's going to be 7 or 10, whatever. Depends on the Gopher game over here. But let's talk about the Thursday night matchup between the Eagles and the Giants. And Charch cannot stop me from giving plus and minus grades in this one. Can he? No. Let's start with the visiting Eagles. There are a handful of key injuries here. Left guard Landon Dickerson will not play in this game. D tackle Jalen Carter for the Eagles is questionable with a heel injury. He just popped up on the injury report on Wednesday, so that's never good to see that late in the week injury ad. But Saquon Barkley was taken off the injury report, and he will play on Thursday. And that's good news because I'm going to try this. Yeah, he's my AA air horn this week. A+++++. Yeah, I know he hasn't put up huge numbers this year, but this is the Giants. And it's not only a revenge game, but in his one meeting with the Giants last year, he went for 187 combo yards and a score. But the Giants are just brutally awful at run defense. 5.6 yards per carry. The 8th most combo yards allowed and the 6th most touchdowns allowed to running backs. And heading into last week's game, I saw this stat on ESPN. The Giants defense had the worst 4-game rushing DVOA in the last 46 years. It took back to the 1970s to see a run defense that was that bad. Barkley's going to go bananas in this one. Jalen Hurts is also an A grade. He hasn't run for a touchdown in 2 weeks, but he has thrown for multiple touchdown passes in each of the last 3. So he gets it done one way or the other, and the Giants should allow him to do so in multiple ways. They've allowed the 9th most passing yards and the 11th most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks. So we got that going for us. You're starting both of the wide receivers you'd normally roll with too. AJ Brown, I'm giving him a B plus. Devonta Smith just gets a straight B. Smith had the bigger day last week, 8 for 114, but Brown is still leading in target share and has more air yards. The Giants have allowed a league high 74 receptions to opposing wide receivers, which is almost 15 per game. So plenty to go around here. They've also allowed the second most yards to wide receivers so far this year. The only reason it's not an A grade, neither of these guys are really catching touchdowns. They've each got only one on the year, and that's because Dallas Goedert is catching all the touchdowns. He's tied for the league lead amongst tight ends with 4 touchdown receptions. Problem is, he's doing basically nothing else. He's averaging just under 4 receptions for 33 yards per game. So you're super touchdown dependent with Dallas Goedert. Will he score this week? Doesn't look likely, as the Giants have only allowed 1 tight end touchdown all season. That came all the way back in week 1 to Zach Ertz. And since then, they've held Jake Ferguson, who's fantastic, Travis Kelce, who's okay, Juwan Johnson, who's been pretty good, and the mysterious Chargers tight ends out of the end zone in the last 4 weeks. So it's a C- grade for Goddard, just barely startable in this one. On the Giants side, there's not a lot to like. Evidently, Tyrone Tracy is returning to action on Thursday after his shoulder has seemingly healed, and I think that just muddies the waters for Cam Scatabo. Tracy was averaging 10 touches per game before his injury. Scatabo was getting about 10 touches as well during that first 3-week stretch. Since then, Scatabo has seen 27 and 21 touches. This has a major chance of going back to a near even split. I'll give Scatabo the benefit of the doubt and say that he gets like a 60-40 split in this one. I'll throw a C- grade at him. I'm going to keep Tracy on the bench. And the Eagles have been not terrible for runners to face. They've allowed the 7th most combo yards this season. So there's some sort of glimmer of hope here. But I think it's probably more of a timeshare than people want to admit. So I'm a little scared of the Giants run game. Jackson Dart, he's on the bench. He's dealing with a hamstring injury, and I think that probably caps his rushing upside. If he doesn't have that rushing upside, and he's had 54 and 55 yards in each of the last 2 games, I don't think he has enough in the pass tank. Yeah, get it, the pass tank, to put up great numbers against a Philly defense that held Dak, Mahomes, and Stafford all to under 200 passing yards per game this year. Darius Slayton is also out with a hamstring injury. That complicates things, meaning they're down to 4th and 5th string wide receivers on the field a lot. Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, and Lil Jordan Humphrey are going to be your wide receivers for the Giants. You're not starting any of those guys against the Eagles corners. Let's be real. But my sneaky passing game starter is Theo Johnson, and I think you can start him. He's caught every one of Jackson Dart's career touchdown passes, all 3 of them. 2 last week, 1 the week before. His target load has increased. With Russell Wilson, he had 3 per game. And with Jackson Dart, he's had 6 per game. And remove another wide receiver from the mix, by the way. And Dart is going to have to get this off to somebody. It's going to go to Theo. Now, I don't really like the matchup. The Eagles are top 6 in basically every category against the tight end, but I think the volume could save him. I'm predicting that he'll see around 8 or 9 targets in this one. And if the Giants score through the air, odds are it's going to be Theo Johnson in this one. He gets a C+. That's it. It's all wrapped up in a bow. But a reminder on Game Blazers, win your share of $750,000 in guaranteed cash prizes, all in free roll contests this NFL regular season over at Game Blazers. If you got a League Safe account, which you probably do if you're listening to this, you already have a Game Blazers account. And you can even put in like a promo code on there. You put in a promo code League Safe when you sign up for Game Blazers, they're going to give you some extra free packs to get started. Promo code FFAD when you make a deposit, though, will get you a $100 deposit match. Man, I'm so thirsty right now. We'll be back tomorrow for another show with T-Bone, Trevor Jones, as we preview this week's fantasy DFS plays. Trevor's been on fire lately. He's been kicking my butt in the internals. So we hope to have you back to listen into that show for another Fantasy Football Almost Daily.